Hey, good evening, everybody. We are back again. Good morning, or good evening, good evening. It's one of those, I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on or what side of the shift you work. uh, but, anyways, we are back here again. So, going to try to get a little bit of something done here before I go to work. This camera over here to the side a little bit. All right. Empty the leftovers from yesterday. All right. We're going to try to get a few things mounted and a few things finished up. And then go to the next stage. All right. Hey, good evening, Bud Man. Let me get some hardware here. Two, three, four. I think these are going to be long enough. All right, so this morning I went ahead and I finished up the power cords. Just got one of them plugged in for right now. But anyways, went ahead and did that. Got the other holes mounted, or drilled rather. I shouldn't say mounted, but the other holes drilled for the tuning tube on the back. So we're going to go ahead and put our inserts in here for the SO239s and get our capacitor bolted in place. Then we'll start back on the fun stuff. Hey, good evening, Bud Man, or Mr. Carlock. Yeah, I haven't seen 3 made in here the last couple of times, but I think it's because his tooth is still bothering him really, really bad. So I haven't spoke with him in a few days. I don't know if he's been able to get in or not to the dentist. I know that's been kind of a rough way to go for him. Guess I gotta loosen that one up just a little bit. May have to drill that hole out just a fraction. Let's try this other one. To open those up just a little bit more. Yeah, sometimes when you lay these all out and all that good stuff, sometimes they just don't quite match like you hope they're going to. but that's an easy fix. I usually drill the holes pretty tight to begin with. So let's see here. Heard a message go through real quick. Well, I wish I had more information about the radio. This is not something I've had come across my workbench as of yet. However, if you would like, I am currently in the middle of doing a live feed on YouTube. There we go. So how's everybody's evening going? Figured I'd go ahead and get my bottle of water out here too while we're at it. Yeah. The one I want. Yeah. I gotta find the drill bit that I just dropped on the floor. Oh boy. Just starting with the storms. Yeah, it looked like it was we were gonna get a pretty good one earlier today, and as far as first thing this morning whenever I got off work. So I was kind of surprised. Yeah, here in Indiana, we've actually got some nice skies here going on. But I'm also here in the central part of the state, the lower part, but still centralized. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know the other day they were actually calling for tornadoes here, and everything was swelling up and looked like we were going to get a pretty good one, and it actually kind of just laid right back down. So I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, I'm not much for the tornadic weather, but the rain don't bother me on the rain. Move that camera back a little bit more so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Where this plate's a little thicker. Go. Get that through there. Hoping these short tabs I've got will work. If not, I've got longer ones we can put in place. But I'm gonna get these started. Leave those loose till we get ready to actually put that on there too. So, all right. So, got my little foot soldered on. We're going to use for our mounting tab. So, a friend of mine actually made me these. He lives over in Ohio. Actually made me a bunch of these here a few years ago, and I don't use them very often. Mainly because of the fact that I don't know if and when he can ever make me any more of them. But he did a really great job. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Mr. Clean for that, for making me a bunch of these, because these are very handy, especially whenever I want to move things further out. He made me some long ones and some short ones. Yep. Where that one went. So, yeah, I'll take care of that here in a minute. This I already test fitted this morning, so I know it's good. There we go. Hey, good evening, Three Maid. Wasn't sure if you were going to pop in tonight or not. Root beer float day. Okay. At least that's what I think you mean to say. Set this off to the side for the moment here. Yeah, the wife got on to me this morning because, you need to sleep. You need to sleep. Pointing at the clock, telling me what time it was. We had our little conversation this morning, so God love her. course, like so many Americans, though, I mean, I guess it's where I'm used to working myself to death. She gets on to me all the time about I need to rest a lot more. Oh, so you were able to finally find somebody to operate. Well, there's a bunch of us. If you'd have been willing to go out of state, there's a bunch of us. I'm sure even Mr. Carlock, he would have come over and helped hold you down or tie you to the table, and we'd have been happy to hold that tooth for you. Well, it was causing you a whole lot of trouble on the overall, but maybe now you won't have so many issues. Yes, this is exceedingly long. It's just this is something that I pulled out of the scrap pile, so try to use up as much of my scraps as I can before I actually throw them away. So I'll get that in there, and then I'll trim it to length. Okay. Well, it's going to fit nice and tight. I won't have to fight that much. Roll down there towards the bottom. That way we can keep that wire as short as we can. Yeah, I'm sure even Bud Man would have been there to help hold you in place. All righty. So let's set that back out of the way then. All right. So I know I still got to go up here to the circuit breaker that we're going to be using on the front, but we'll take care of that last. But for now, let's get these out of our way. One of the nice things about the way this one's being put together, it's for the most part to be relatively easy to do everything. Right now we've only got our one mounting screw here, and then everything else will fall into place here once we get it. We start finishing the assembly on it here. So I'm going to put my little shorting bar in there across the relay. That in place, and then we'll trim off that little extra. Yeah, I hope it heals up good for him too, because I've had a dry socket before on on a tooth that I've had to have pulled, and that is no fun whatsoever. There's that. Yeah, I had a couple of different options that I thought about doing on this. Thought about using a contactor to fire these two so that I could use a little bitty teeny tiny toggle switch, and then I was going to have to put in I'm still going to have to use some kind of a circuit breaker for protection, for safe sake. And the more and more I kept thinking about it, it's like, yeah, let's just go ahead and mount what we need to and put a circuit breaker on the front. So still got to do all that yet, which that takes a while to do the layout, but I figured you guys would rather see the fun stuff here as you would the layout and all that good stuff, which that takes a long time. It really does. I don't think people realize, how much it takes just to get to the fun stuff. Yeah, it's definitely not fun dealing with a bad tooth. I know that. I know I had one that cracked on me here a couple of years ago, and I like to never got into the damn dentist. But they're so busy with all their teeth cleaning and all the stuff where they can really make some, quick, easy money that, they forget about the emergencies. And it's like, well, I understand, people have got appointments and things like that, but, what about emergencies? That's the only part that never did It's the only part that never did set well with me as far as going to the dentist. Yeah, they don't get in a hurry. That's for damn sure. One thing they get in a hurry for is to know whether or not your insurance is going to pay for it or you're going to pay for it, and whether or not you got the money for it. That's the only thing it seems like they really care about. Yeah, 3 definitely needs to rest up a little bit over that, but I definitely understand. So I've been there, done that. Let's get this out here. See if this one's pre-cut. Yeah, that should work. Put a little block in this one side here. That way we can force all the air the way we want. This is some pretty intense adhesive that I've got here. That stuff works really well. Okay. Now I know I still have to put my input tune here on the 4-pill here. I'm still going to get that done. The coax obviously ran, but we are going to have to work on that front, since this is going to have a variable in it for the 1x. That way we can have a little bit more control over the 1 pill driving the other. But I want to get this plastic here. I want to get that seated in place. That way it can't move while going through all this. So let me go grab the faceplate. That way we can get the faceplate started, because we're going to have to do some layout on it and drill a hole and mount the circuit breaker. And then by that time, the hot glue gun, which it's Gorilla Glue that I've actually got, and it actually takes a little bit more to heat it up than normal glue, and it even takes a little bit more yet if you want it to actually release. So we're going to use that just to kind of hold things in place. Hold things in place while the other stuff has its time to do its job. So, but I don't know if any of you guys have used any of this or not, which is that E6000, and that is some gnarly glue. I know it says industrial strength adhesive, but they mean it, and it stays flexible. That's one of the best things about it. So, all right. So, give me just a second to grab that faceplate. Pieces and parts, parts and pieces. Good evening, Chase. A little spot right there, and that way I don't have to worry about anything else moving until it all settles in place, and then I'll go back and add another little holder. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to turn that AC back on. Oh, we got some good air movement going on in here. All right. So the only other thing left is I still want to put a capacitor and a diode in here. Just to help a little bit more. The capacitor is not going to really do a whole lot because I've got tons of power supply, but it's just more to kind of help filter it out. So we're just going to put a small cap here and a diode. Just make for a little bit cleaner. No, it's not an absolute necessity on a base, but mobile, I highly recommend putting a protection diode in there for reverse protection. These power supplies are pretty good in the fact that they'll automatically shut down on their own, but let's see. I'll put the diode on this side because we still have to run our cable over there. And since I don't have a capacitor that I'm going to be putting here instead of a fixed one, like I said, I'm going to use that variable. Yeah, I've been told that this is just a waste of time and money, but I know for a fact there are others out there that will disagree with me on that because they have ran into situations where that has saved them. Yeah, sadly, I got to go to work here in just a little bit, whether I like it or not, 3. If you want, I'll give you a call after we get off the live feed here. Chat with you on my way in. I've been trying to reconnect with people a little bit more here lately. I just feel like I've been getting out of touch with everyone because of all the hours that I work. So the ones that stay up kind of late, I'm trying to chat with them a little bit here and there. And just like 3 made, he and I, whenever I was in the shop full time there several years ago, we used to talk on the phone all day. You know, we'd give each other a call or what have you. You know, idle chit chat, whatever. I mean, talk about the dog, talk about ants, talk about power supplies, whatever the case may be. Righty. Okay, let's see, coax. Just trying to get an idea how long to make it. Unfortunately, this is not one of them that I've got above my head. I have to go over to the other rack to get the coax. I've been trying to consolidate. I've got a couple of small colors of 20 gauge that I'm just about out of. So that'll free up enough room that I can put another spool above my head. But I want to redo my rack that I've got up above my head that I pull wire down to work right here on the workbench. I'm going to actually move it further forward over the workbench. This is one of the things I'm going to do, and then I'm going to move one of my lights back behind me, which hopefully will work as far as on the videos and stuff a little bit better. So that's kind of the goal there, is to do that. I don't know if I will get that done this summer yet or not. I'm hoping so, anyways. But still working on it. Of course, we still got to put our keying circuit in yet too. Yours will be coming up here probably within the next week or two, Bruce. I'm going to start working on yours again. Just kind of taking a break before I start in on something big like that, because I've got to get that on there, figure out because of how it was originally laid out. I mean, I still kind of know how it's laid out. I know I kind of split everything up so that I had more room to work with, but I don't know how that's going to interfere with your project. So, we got to go through that and figure that part of it out as well. But yeah, yours is right behind it. I know you said you wasn't in a huge hurry. Still got some other stuff here that I need to get knocked out too. Some things I'm actually waiting on to come back. I have to send some stuff off to be repaired for another up and coming project. Yeah, I actually need to. No, actually, I don't because I've already got that. So I don't know that my power supply that I've got in on hand is big enough, but yeah, it is. Still got the 1,000 amp that's for sale. Because the one I've got actually isn't quite big enough to run, that I've been using here on the workbench for the last year. It's really not quite big enough for your project. And that was actually something that I was looking at the other day, is building myself another power supply, because the 1,000 amp is for sale. And I was going to build myself another power supply. I know Chad's been making me think, if you will, in regards to building a power supply that I can. I'll think here in a second. Building a power supply that I can go ahead and show. It's one of those where, yeah, I mean, I'd like to have one that's a variable where I can adjust the voltage on. I don't like building those, especially in a large format. Small doesn't bother me. but to build one that I can have that's got the higher voltages and stuff, I don't trust these to run, 15.5, because you're already at that point where that's not really safe to go ahead and try to even attempt that. But I've been looking at trying to build myself a dual power supply that I can run both variable voltage as well as I'll trim that off once I get that all in place. But build myself a variable voltage that I can use to show things, and then things that I'm going to use to actually run it at. So kind of going back and forth as far as on the ideas as far as what would be best for that. All righty. Well, guys, sadly, that's all the time I've got today to spend with you, because it is 9 o'clock, which means I have to head that direction. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you popping in here for the quick video. Like I said, just wanted to get some work done on this. Hopefully I'll get this finished up, and then Bruce, you're actually going to be right behind this one. Once I can get this one taken care of, we're going to start tearing into yours and figuring out what we need to do to it to start tearing part of it apart and reworking it. So I know that we're going to have to build new combiners and all kinds of other good stuff. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting project as well. Guys, I appreciate it. Take care. God bless. We'll catch you on the next live feed.